Gotta walk that far.
My lips are sealed.
I didn't bring a pen. We need a pen.
You didn't bring a
Physically, I
pen?
didn't bring a pen. I brought an extra, I brought the extra glasses so I could have the, the regular reading glasses. Oh, thank you. Waiting for Doug.
So the meeting is being recording. I just haven't called it to order yet. I'll call the meeting to order at 9:32 for the Board of Registrars. This meeting is being recorded. In the event that the Zoom recording goes down, we will still continue with the meeting in person. We're here today in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 55B, Section 7, for a hearing on the objections to the certification of names on the petition objecting to the adoption of the multifamily overlay district by the Gloucester City Council on October 1st, 2024. My name is Grace Poirier. I'm the city clerk. With me is Suzanne Egan, general counsel for the city of Gloucester. We have our two registrar members, Barry Pett and Mark Nestor. We're going to give a couple more minutes for Doug Parsons to arrive and then we'll move forward.
What's the city attorney's name? City attorney's name.
Suzanne Egan.
He's arrived. And I'll sit on the other side of you. Does that make sense? Sit here. There you go. And I'll sit over here just because you guys are on the board. And
Thank you. Taking 10% of your pay for
Yeah.
today.
So with us now is, I'm just gonna move this.
yeah, just scoot over there. We go.
Um, So, the third registrar has arrived. This person. We already called the meeting to order, and I explained to everyone that we are doing this in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 55B, Section 7, We're holding a hearing on the objections to the certification of names on the petition objecting to the adoption of multifamily overlay district by the Gloucester City Council on October 1st, 2024. So on October 22nd, 2024, we received a petition from Tracy O'Neill, excuse me, Kelly Seacrest, and Beverly Johnson. They were the sponsors of the petition. The city clerk's office and the registrars certified the petition on October 24th, 2024. We uploaded the list of certified names to the city website, and we notified the petitioners by certified mail, the petitioners being Tracy, Kelly, and Beverly, on October 28th. And this meeting is being held to review the objections to the certification of signatures. Before we review that, Suzanne, do you want to just explain what it is that the registrar's responsibility is and what it is that we need to be reviewing when we go through these objections?
Yes, so the Board of Registrars role today is to review the objections submitted to the certified signatures. And that is with regard to under the state law. And the board looks at, the objections can be based on whether there was fraud or forgery. And so you look at the certification, the signatures that were certified, and then you review each of the objections to see if there's a basis for the objection under that standard. Do you have any questions for me?
And you said two reasons.
Two reasons,
Specific.
fraud or forgery.
Okay,
Yes.
and forgery is fairly obvious and clear.
Yep.
Would you give us a little better, maybe a little more detailed explanation what fraud might entail?
So fraud would be I'll do it very like plain
Right.
spoken, right? Not necessarily a legal definition, but fraud would be inducing somebody to sign a petition that was misrepresented. So let's say there was a petition that something was written here at the top, and then there was a signature line. And so you read this and this is what you think you're signing. And then when it's submitted to the clerk's office, this is removed and something else is there. And so that would be fraud, right? You'd be saying, sign this petition, this is something other, right? To induce you to sign that. That would be a fraudulent act. So I think that the best process for the Board of Registrars at this point is to go through the objections, right? Look at the basis under the law, whether or not there is those reasons given, and then make a determination on that basis.
We may be able to expedite this momentarily. Forgive me, my name is Michael Walsh. I'm the attorney representing the
So,
referendum.
excuse me, but the way a meeting is held or a hearing is held, people are only recognized if they're recognized by the chair. So there's no ability to jump into a meeting and interrupt. So
So could the
We're
chair
going to be-
recognize them?
conducting the business pursuant to that standard process under the Robert's Rules of Authority, or Robert's Rules of Order, sorry.
The chair. Are you the chair speaking?
No, Suzanne Egan is general counsel for the city. I will recognize Michael Walsh.
Thank you very much. Apologies, everyone. My name is Mike Walsh. I'm an attorney representing the referendum committee. We're actually hoping to save you a little bit of time this morning. No matter whether you grant the motion to dismiss or not, or whether you take all four signatures off or not, we're only interested in avoiding the finding that there was any fraud or forgery. That we deny wholly, but because there's not enough signatures in jeopardy to take the petition off or make it legally ineffective, we thank everyone who signed, and if they repent their signature or have buyer's remorse, we thank them for their time, but we have no interest in opposing them taking their name off of the matter. So that may make your matter easier if it's objected to.
I have a concern about it. I understand your motion, Senator Walsh. The key issue that jumps out, though, is still
the issue of whether it's fraud or forgery, which I think would arise above someone being unhappy because they made a wrong decision. And I would probably agree with you that if someone was just unhappy that they made the wrong decision, they may not have standing here. I do have a concern, though, if we're talking about forgery or fraud, which is a higher level. And I would think at this point that we would probably, and I don't speak for the remainder of the board, would hold your motion in abeyance until we review these signatures to see if in fact there are any that speak for forgery or fraud, because obviously if there's forgery, that becomes a separate issue, which would probably be turned over to the district attorney's office. And so I would wait and defer on your motion until we see if that's it. If we go through all 34 and they're just individuals that say, I changed my mind, I understand your position, I would probably agree with your position. But if someone says that's not my signature, or I was somehow fraudulently induced to sign, that's a separate issue, and I would prefer to go through these ballots and see where we are, and then we can possibly then address your position.
Understood. I was only hoping to, based on section 5, to argue that as long as there aren't a sufficient number of signatures and to make a difference, that essentially there's no direction either way you choose to go.
I'm looking more at the sanctity of the system, and I could have a concern on the sanctity of the system if we're talking about forgery or fraud versus just I'm unhappy. I agree with if I'm unhappy, fine. But if there's fraud, that's an attack on the system, and I'm very adamant that I will not tolerate attacks on the system.
Understood. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Excuse me, sir. Oh, Your Honor.
Not yet, thank you.
So I'm Sunny Robinson. I live at 20 Harvard Street, and I'd like to register a somewhat different opinion. I would tend to use the word misrepresentation as what is at heart in this matter. But as a citizen of this community, having watched some of the signature gathering, knowing that it was not presented clearly to people who were encouraged to sign what they were actually signing, much less the consequences of it. The kind of language I heard both directly and indirectly from quite a number of people who I have been in touch with, who did not understand what they were signing. And I believe quite a number of them have taken the steps to have their signatures removed, is that they were told something in the vein of, this is simply an opportunity to create intent and increase citizen participation in this matter. And there was no discussion that it was actually overturning a city council decision that had come after months and months of public review. So I would encourage the board to look very carefully, not only at the validity of the signatures, but the much more complicated task of trying to determine whether or not people were misrepresented when they in fact presented their signatures. I would certainly agree that any citizen signing a petition has the responsibility to understand what they were signing. But I think if you look deeply, you will discover that people were not really informed of what they were signing, much less the potential consequences. So I thank you for the opportunity to register my objection to the acceptance of the petition on those issues of misrepresentation.
May I?
Yes.
I am in,
Name and address for the record.
oh, sorry, Irene Quintero, 28 Ford Square. And I think you should, I would actually take Sunny's words. And the people were informed that this is to go in front of the citizenry for their information and to have more involvement in it. It wasn't any consequences that would be harmful, because it would go in front of the citizens to make their opinions presented and have the opportunity to vote on it, because it's going to affect all of the citizens of Gloucester. And they were, have, as she said, informed that this would increase their participation. Thank you.
Before we move into the review of signatures, is there anyone else in attendance that has any commentary that they'd like to share with the board? Okay.
Tracy O'Neill, 12 Friend Street. When I approached people to sign the petition, my first words were, have you heard of the zoning laws that City Council recently passed? And they, by and large, said no.
city council passed zoning that will add density to the downtown and make it faster and easier to build. And I had maps out for people to look at to see if it included their neighborhood. I never intended any malfeasance on, everyone that signed it knew what they were signing as far as my perspective. Thank you.
Before,
What is the question, you?
Kelly Seacrest, 9 Whites Mountain Road. When I collected signatures, I mostly did my signature collecting at Poplar Park, where my mother lives, and 9 times out of 10, nobody knew what I was even talking about. They didn't even know that any of this was happening, and you get that a lot. I understand that people think that there has been this huge public participation, but simply only with people who participate in civic duties and understand this stuff. By and large, the people who live in this city do not have any knowledge that this is going on. And it wasn't until like a group of people put out a postcard that's sent to people's houses that some people were like, I never even heard of it. People really do not understand. And the fact that the city mails water bills and tax bills, they could have easily put in there, we have zoning changes coming up. That's how they could have notified everybody the importance of it, if they really wanted people to be engaged.
I don't want to jump in, but we're not here to discuss the pros and the cons of the petition and the resolutions and whether people heard or people didn't hear, whether it was not communicated. All we're really here to do is examine 34 signatures and determine whether those 34 signatures are either valid signatures or fake signatures that were caused by forgery or fraud. I would agree with you, that's not going to turn the tide of the referendum or what's going on. We're just looking at for a very isolated reason. We're going to be restricted to that isolated reason only. You're going to have to duke it out in the court of public opinion, depending what happens after this three-year referendum. For now, we just need to stick to the 34. Otherwise, quite bluntly, we could be here all day arguing the merits of 3A and not 3A.
And I would add that him, as Mark has stated, we're here for a specific purpose. And I understand that many people may or may not know, or even if they participated, they may not understand the ramifications of this zoning changes, et cetera. But this is not the place to have that discussion. That's, the city council itself meets every couple of weeks, and there's the opportunity to speak at the oral communications at the beginning of the meeting. And I would obviously encourage people, if they have an issue to discuss whether it's reference this or something else, that would be the one place to go, and the other place to go is to the administration and submit your commentary or whatever to them. And I'm sure some of you have already done so. But that's again what Mark stated is why we are here today, and that's simple as that.
I would recommend, Madam Clerk, that we proceed with this process.
Yes. Would you like me to read the language that was on the petition that?
Yes, we need to run the record.
Okay, so this referendum petition states, we, the undersigned, hereby protest against the multifamily overlay district adopted by the Gloucester City Council on October 1st, 2024. We hereby protest against the whole of the measure and demand a referendum vote by the citizens upon this measure, in support whereof we hereby affix our names.
Anyone, do you have any objection to how it was presented?
No, you're.
Thank you. And Bill, come here.
I'm just going to go through, read the names, addresses if provided. I did go through all of these and determined that there were some people who objected who actually, their names were not certified on this petition. So I'm going to read that into the record for the board. We have Mayuza Alves, 33 Trask Street, Apartment 2, She wanted to inform us that her brother Gilberto Lorindo Alves, who signed the petition protesting the implementing of the MBTA zoning listed at the address 114 Maplewood Avenue in Gloucester, no longer resides at the mentioned address, but at 124.5 Federal Street in Salem. I would like to request his name be removed from the petition. If a proof of his Salem address be needed, please contact me. When we certified the names, Gilberto was certified. He was a registered voter in Gloucester at the time of the certification. His voter registration was in Gloucester.
So, but the request came from Mayuza, not
Yes.
from him.
Correct. Next is a request from Carol Shula stating, I would like my name removed from anti-3A petition. I didn't understand the full ramifications of the petition.
We can do this one at a time and let's
Yeah,
go back one at a time.
Okay.
Go back to the first
Sure.
one again. Can you read the first one again?
First one says, Dear City Clerk, I want to inform you that my brother Gilberto Lorindo Alves, who signed the petition protesting the implementing of the MBTA zoning listed at the address 114 Maplewood Avenue in Gloucester, no longer resides at the mentioned address, but at 124.5 Federal Street, Salem, Mass. I would like to request his name to be removed from the petition. If a proof of his Salem address be needed, please contact me. Sincerely, Mayuza Alves.
Do you have any show any, you still show him as a resident of Gloucester, is that
At
correct?
the time of the certification of names, he was registered. to vote in
And
Gloucester.
he did not request removal. It was his sister.
Can you put in no change of address? Okay.
No, at the time of his address, he was registered at 114. At the time of signing, he was registered at 114.
I would make a motion that we don't remove it because he was a registered voter at the time, and it wasn't him that has asked for removal. It was someone else, regardless whether it's his sister or whoever, but,
You just need a motion to whether the objection is denied or not. Make a motion, the objection is denied.
Is there a second?
Second.
So moved by Mark Nestor, seconded by Doug Parsons to deny the request. All in favor? And any discussion?
Damn, I was gonna jump in.
I'm going to be abstaining from voting today, so all in favor?
Aye.
Next,
are you, would you record on there, on each one, if it passes, whether it was 3-0 or,
We just need to say it's denied.
motion passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed to deny the request to remove the name. Next is Carol Shula. I would like my name removed from the anti-3A petition. I didn't understand the full ramifications of the petition. Carol Shula was not one of the certified names.
The motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark Nestor, seconded by Doug Parsons to dismiss this request. Is there any discussion?
yes, that, and if not on, there would be reason to deny, just based on the fact that person wasn't a certified person on the petition.
It doesn't matter. She's not representing a fraud or forgery. That's what we're restricting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to dismiss the request passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. John DeClardo. I'm a homeowner and resident of Gloucester. I am a registered voter. I have reviewed the petition submitted to the city clerk objecting to Gloucester City Council's plan concerning 3A. I am writing to officially object to the petition. John was not one of the certified names.
Make a motion to dismiss the objection.
Second.
Been moved by Mark Nestor, seconded by Doug Parsons to dismiss. Is there any
I
discussion?
don't understand what he's asking us to do. He's objecting to the petition itself.
This is in general the petition.
I-
You know,
That's not what we're here for.
He
Right,
did not. he
but that
was not
doesn't
a
matter,
certified
right?
name.
I mean, anybody can come up with any of a petition, whether, if I don't like it, I don't sign it.
right, that's all.
Yeah, okay.
It was moved and seconded. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
The motion to dismiss passes three, dismiss the request passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. 2 members of the Board of Registrars, I'm writing to hereby object to the certification of the referendum petition described above on the grounds I am informed and therefore believe that several people who signed the petition have reported to me that they were materially misled about what it was they were signing, and that they had known the true had they known the true nature of what they were signing, would not have signed. I am also informed and therefore believe that several people who were misled into signing the petition and subsequently realized that they had signed, contacted the petitioner, Tracy O'Neill, to have their names removed from the petition, but the petitioner refused to do so. I ask that the board investigate the extent of misrepresentation involved in the gathering of signatures for the petition and find that the signature gathering process was tainted by misrepresentation by the petitioner and volunteer proponents, and that the signatures on the petition cannot be certified. This was submitted by Deanna Fay. Her name is not one of the certified names.
Did you list any names of citizens that you talked to?
No.
That makes it hearsay, right? So,
Want to do it this time?
but what about the thing about, contacting Tracy and Tracy to do something?
That's not why we're,
That's not what we're here, that's not our
we're
position.
not here for that
Right.
discussion, so I would make a motion to deny.
I'll second it.
It has been moved by Barry Pett, seconded by Doug Parson to deny the request. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is a communication from Edward R. Mowry Jr. I'm filing an objection based on the following observations. False statements were being used by those asking for signatures, including the state will take over all of Gloucester's zoning and, sorry, that was a quote, the state will take over all of Gloucester's zoning, end quote, and quote, they will make us build high-rise, low-income apartments on Railroad
Can't close the
Avenue
door, it's an open meeting law.
Okay.
on the Shaw's
A
location.
little noisy, hard to hear.
I hear you. Sorry.
Maybe you can speak up a little bit.
Number 2, on 2 occasions, I saw what appeared to be minors gathering petitions, and they knew nothing about what they were doing. Edward Mowry was not one of the certified names.
So he's just, again, hearsay. That's it.
Yes.
Make a motion to dismiss.
Second.
Moved by Mark Nestor, seconded by Barry Peck to dismiss. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, is there any validity to, that minors can't get signatures? So why even do that? And what else was he using?
False statements, he says that false statements were being used by those asking for signatures, including, quote, the state will take over all of Gloucester's zoning, end quote, and quote, they will make us build high-rise, low-income apartments on Railroad Avenue on the Shaw's location.
So
And-
did that hearsay as
and he-
well?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And now he says, this is quote unquote, but he doesn't say who said it. Just
He's not
total
alleging,
hearsay.
he's not alleging it was told to him.
So on the motion to dismiss, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The vote to dismiss passes 3-0. Next is from Herman Kerry Normand. Please delete my name from the 3A petition. I did not realize signing would have such grave consequences. Thank you and sorry for the trouble. Herman is not one of the certified names.
Same issue, motion to dismiss.
Second.
Any discussion? Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. All in favor to dismiss?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is a letter from Sunny Robinson. I hereby object to the certification of the referendum petition noted as objecting to the 3A MFOD the city recently passed on the grounds I am informed and therefore believe that an unknown number of people who signed the petition were materially misled about what it was they were signing, and that had they known the true nature of what they were signing, would not have signed. I have been in contact with a number of these people and believe they have taken steps to have their names removed from the petition. I am also informed and therefore believe that some of these same people who were misled into signing the petition and subsequently realized what they had actually signed contracted the petition proponent to have their names removed from the petition, but the proponent refused to do so. That was contacted, not contracted. I ask that the board investigate the extent of misrepresentation involved in the gathering of signatures for the petition and find that the signature gathering process was tainted by misrepresentation by the petition proponents, that the signatures on the petition cannot be certified. This was submitted by M. Sunny Robinson. Sunny's name was not one of the certified names.
I'll move to dismiss.
It's been moved by Doug, seconded by Mark to dismiss. Is there any discussion?
Yes, what, if we just state what the reason for dismissing.
Is there a second?
If the people who felt that they signed it wrong were fraudulently told something, then they needed to file an objection. You have no objections? Well, it may be part of the 34.
So all in favor on the motion to dismiss?
Aye.
It's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is the communication from Stephen Volz. I hereby object to the certification of the referendum petition described above on the grounds I am informed and therefore believe that several people who signed the petition were materially misled about what it was they were signing, and that had they known the true nature of what they were signing, would not have signed. I am also informed and therefore believe that some of these same people who were misled into signing the petition and subsequently realized what they had actually signed contacted the petition proponent to have their names removed from the petition, but the proponent refused to do so. I ask that the board investigate the extent of misrepresentation involved in the gathering of signatures for the petition and find that the signature gathering process was tainted by misrepresentation by the petition proponents, that the signatures on the petition cannot be certified.
Make a motion to dismiss based on the same hearsay and lack of standing.
Second.
So moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there any discussion on the motion to dismiss? All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. So I should also add that Stephen Volz was not one of the certified names. So now we're moving on to the people whose names were certified on the petition. Colleen Apostolos Marsh. Hi there. Thank you for your help. I would like to remove my name from the petition.
There's that again.
Hi there. Thank you for your help. I would like to remove my name from the petition. This was from Colleen Apostolos Marsh.
And she's a registered voter.
Yes, she is one of the certified names. Yep. Everyone, I should be clear, everyone whose names were certified signed the petition as registered under their name at the address that they were registered to vote at. Otherwise, that would have, if they had not, it would have been disqualified.
Make a motion to dismiss. There's no fraud, and she just was unhappy, was walking it back, but that's not a basis. That'll be dealt with either in city council or there's a referendum later on.
I would second it.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry to dismiss the request. Is there any-
So the discussion, can somebody ask the name to be removed? I mean, is that something?
I think only for the two reasons, fraud and forgery. Those are the only two reasons, correct, from the city solicitor that they
Yeah.
can be removed.
Right, and so the general law is chapter 55B, section 10, and your role here is this, I'll read from it. It says, "The commission shall render a decision on matter referred to or pertaining to objections that the signatures appearing on an initiative or referendum petition have been forged or placed thereon by fraud, and that in consequence thereof, the petition is not a sufficient number of qualified voters." So it's,
So by law, once you
Forged
sign, there's no
or
turning
A
back.
change of heart is not a basis to remove.
Yeah, all right.
So it's been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry to dismiss. Is
Aye.
there all in favor?
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Cynthia Atwood. Please remove my name from petition 3A. Thank you.
Motion to dismiss based on same as the last.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Anna Benedetto. To whom it may concern, my name is Anna Benedetto and I live at 137 Cherry Street in Gloucester. On Saturday, October 12th, I was approached by a local concerned citizen and asked to sign a petition to make the opposition to the 3A ordinance a ballot question for an upcoming election. I signed because I was under the assumption that he was telling me the truth. I have since been informed that my signature was going straight to the city and presented as if it was against the ordinance. After doing more research and speaking to a lot of people, I wish I had never signed the petition. I know I wrote you already inquiring about having my name removed, and I did write Tracy O'Neill. She ignored my request, and I'd still like my name removed. I hope you can please forward my email to the Board of Registrars, and they can follow through with mine and many more Gloucester residents' requests to have their names taken off this petition.
Can you read the beginning of that again?
My name is Anna Benedetto, and I live at 137 Cherry Street in Gloucester. On Saturday, October 12th, I was approached by a local concerned citizen and asked to sign a petition to make the opposition to the 3A ordinance a ballot question for an upcoming election. I signed because I was under the assumption that he was telling me the truth. I have since been informed that my signature was going straight to the city and presented as if I was against the ordinance. After doing more research and speaking to a lot of people, I wish I had never signed this petition.
I mean, the key thing is is the fraud thing. I mean, I was looking up at the difference between fraud and misrepresentation. Really, fraud is, it's got to be an absolute intent to deceive. I'm not sure on that because, I mean, technically it's going to go to a referendum, potentially. I mean, depending on what the city council does. So the referendum is there. So I don't know whether that statement rise to a level of fraud to necessitate it being not dismissed.
I think she's alleging that she was deceived. Therefore, it's not hearsay. And her allegation, I don't think has to be proved. This is her interpretation. So I don't know the legality of this situation. But if this person felt that this person was misinformed as to how to sign and therefore signed the wrong thing because she was signing what she was told. I don't know what she feels is going to happen this way or that, but I would lean towards accepting.
Just a quick follow-up, and I don't know whether Mark is an attorney or Susan is a city solicitor could again delve into this question of fraud versus misrepresentation. In other words, we can only remove the, name based on, if it's fraud or forgery, period. Well, what is really the difference between fraud and misrepresentation? Is there a way of clarifying something? Because I understand what Doug is saying, and I understand what, Mark has said, and I've had discussions on some of these coming forward, but again, I know that, regardless of what we do on these, this isn't gonna change the outcome of, the petition, but I just want to be clear when I'm voting. Could we have a little bit more of a, the definition of the,
I'm going to defer to council now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we can look, one of the things that we'll do, I don't have the definition of fraud, the legal definition of fraud in front of us as defined under the statute. I can see if I can pull that up, but there is the meaning dictionary definition. It would be wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in a financial or personal gain, or a person or thing intended to deceive others, typically by unjustifiably claiming or being credited with a complementary qualities. So essentially, it's an intent to deceive, to gain something. So that would, and I think that one of the things that you would look at here is you have a statement. What are you gonna base? You have to make a determination, a factual determination that would be fraud. So you would have to make sure that you have those facts in front of you. That's what I would.
and my commentary would be that it says the intent to deceive. And I don't know, even though whether I personally, believe that people were not stating the correct things when they were collecting signatures for this petition or not, but do I think that this statement is being made that they were intentionally deceiving? And I'm not sure, they may have a different understanding of what it was gonna do and whatever. So just my feeling is that, I wouldn't like to see it removed only because, again, I think that's making a statement that there was an intention to physically deceive. That's my feeling.
So is there a motion?
Um, Is this just an email or written statement?
Email. They were all, the majority of them are emails. And just as a reminder, the language of the purpose of the petition was on the petition.
I'm sorry, you just said that regardless of what she was told, even if she was misinformed, because the person was misinformed and didn't say the right thing, that because the language was there, she had the opportunity.
That's what
to
I'm
read
pointing
it.
out, that on the petition, that every single person signed gave the definition and the purpose of the petition.
So therefore, it's not relevant whether the person who was talking.
I just think that that will be up for the three, since you're voting, that
yeah.
will be up to
But that is kind of
review, but
what we're saying here.
the referendum petition stated what the purpose of the petition was and what the result of it would be.
Okay.
My tendency is because there was a written petition, it's like, almost like a contract. If the buyers provided a copy of the contract, regardless of what the seller may say, may be different than if the buyer doesn't have a copy of the contract and the seller just says, okay, this is what it is, it's 3,000 square feet, whatever, and they've got a listing agreement that says it's only 15,000 square feet. There's a little difference whether rise the level of intent to deceive versus making a misrepresentation. which you don't have the intent, and I'm troubled of letting that rise on that basis to a fraudulent act versus a potential misrepresentation. I mean, they had the petition. Unless someone was gonna tell me that they couldn't understand the petition, they only speak Portuguese and it's only in English, that could be a deal breaker, but I'm concerned that that rise to level of fraud. I may not like it. I may not, but I'm not sure it rises to level of fraud, so I make a motion to dismiss.
Second.
I understand your concern. I got a concern with that part, but
Yes, yes,
that may be different forum,
yes.
different day.
Yes,
Clearly, these people are only 34 and are upset. And if it ever gets to referendum, that's where they express their outrage.
So there's a motion to dismiss made by Mark Nestor, seconded by Barry Pett. Is there any further discussion?
my discussion is that I was leaning towards dismissing it because she was misinformed. And they're talking about whether it was on purpose or by accident, we can't determine. But as the clerk pointed out, and I think you emphasized, since it was written there, regardless of what. So if I could know that the deception was intentional, then I don't care that the written thing was there. Since I can't rise to that, and what you say is not what I hear, so who knows where the misunderstanding came from. I am leaning towards voting for a yes.
I'd have a bigger concern if someone was told something, read the petition and asked for clarification, and then someone further gave a false answer. Now we're into fraud, because we've now looked at the contract and now been told something different. That doesn't seem to be the case here, so I'm gonna move this dismissal. Yep, okay, hang on.
I just want to add one thing to this, because I just looked at the language of the petition. If you read the language, maybe we should read it one more time, because the effect of filing that petition was to suspend the measure,
Okay,
right? So I don't know if that, you want to, I would just say that if that was the effect, that's something that you should consider,
right.
right? If that's what, so if we read that language, if that's what that language
Read it
says.
again.
We, the undersigned, hereby protest against the multifamily overlay district adopted by the Gloucester City Council on October 1st, 2024. We hereby protest against the whole of the measure and demand a referendum vote by the citizens upon this measure, in support whereof we hereby affix our names.
I think that's clear enough.
Yep.
Been moved and seconded. Is there a vote?
Right.
All in
Yes.
favor? Zero opposed to dismiss the request. Next, dear Gloucester Board of Registrars and Clerk Poirier, please use this letter as my formal request to be removed from the signature list for the referendum petition regarding the multifamily overlay district zoning ordinance. The petitioner was not clear or truthful on the content and outcome of the referendum petition, or even that it was a referendum. Please let me know if you have any questions. George Benson.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed to dismiss. Good afternoon, Grace. I object to my name being on the 3A zoning petition. Kindly remove it. Thank you. Gina Bertolino.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed to dismiss. Dear Ms. Poirier, I am a Gloucester resident, 215 Washington Street, and a registered voter. I signed the petition against the MBTA/3A zoning law. I have since been informed of what this petition actually means, and I was not informed of the same when I signed the petition. I was provided misleading and incomplete information by the person who requested my signature on the petition. I in no way support the petition nor overturning the decision of the City Council of 1st October 2024 on this topic. I hereby request that my name and signature be immediately removed from support of the petition. I am saddened that our fellow residents of Gloucester have engaged in such misleading practices to gain political advantage while taking advantage of senior citizen and lifelong residents of Gloucester. Not only do I request that my name be removed, but I also encourage the city government to engage in a review of the regulatory guidelines concerning requirements of such persons when approaching our residents, especially those that are vulnerable through age or who are differently abled. Misleading and false information has no place in our community, and it should be mandated that anyone collecting signatures be required to provide a written summary of the consequences of such a petition as approved by the city government to prevent future trickery and waste of city governmental resources to remove signatures from petitions. I am angered and saddened that such behavior is occurring. I trust this email will affect the necessary outcome concerning my lack of support for the petition. Sincerely, Linda Bosselman.
Suzanne, is there any requirement that petition has to list what the consequences of it are?
No, I mean, not particularly, no. I mean, a petition says what it says. And once you sign that, you're signing the document.
Despite her misgivings, I move to dismiss.
Second.
It's been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed.
I just want to be clear that what we do today does not not reflect on the position either for or against the petition or against the petition. It's a very limited review for very limited objective period.
Yes.
I concur.
And I concur with that. And I think we made that clear at the beginning, and I think at the end, regardless of that, I think we can, I'd like myself and maybe the others, members to also make statements as to our, our understanding of what's going on today, that it does not reflect in one way or another on anything else, only on the task that we have before us today.
Next is a communication from Tracy Bowen. I would like my name removed from the anti-3A petition. I feel I was misled by the people trying to secure signatures. I stand in support of the multifamily overlay district adopted by the Gloucester City Council on October 1st.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there any discussion on the motion? Is there a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Jay Brank-Leone. I would like to have my name removed from the petition protesting the implementation of the MBTA zoning overlay.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there any discussion on the motion? Call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Ernest Bruno. This is my second request for my name to be removed from the 3A petition. I noticed that my name is still on the list. Is there something that I still need to do? I let Ernest know that I have no authority to remove a name from the petition, and that if he objected to the certification, the matter will be taken up by the Board of Registrars today. And he said, thank you for your help response with this matter. So I accepted his response to that as his objection.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
It's been moved by Barry, seconded by Mark. Is there a discussion on the motion? Call for a vote.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No vote, aye. Can't multitask anymore.
Next is a communication from Christine Kaidi. I request my name to be removed from the petition against 3A, and it was not removed.
Move dismiss.
Second,
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? Call for a vote.
Aye.
aye.
The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Michael Kanjemi pertaining to 3A list name. Please remove my name.
Move dismiss.
Second,
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? Call for a vote.
aye.
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next, next is, next is,
Double your pay now.
I'm only paid double.
next is a communication from Kathy Clancy, Grace, City Clerk of Gloucester. Thank you for the clarification as to the status of my objection to the above referenced petition. I explained, Kathy had asked me, she had been referencing her request to Tracy to have her name removed, and I explained to her that that was between her and Tracy. Once it arrived in my office, I was obligated to certify, and if she objected to her, objected to the signature, then she needed to send a written communication by the deadline, so that's what she's referring to. To be clear, I object to the certification of the referendum petition on the grounds that, 1, I signed the petition, and 2, at the time I signed the petition, I was materially misled by the person asking for my signature. And 3, within 2 days of signing the petition, I went to the city clerk's office to have my name removed and was informed that I needed the petitioner to remove my name. And 4, I communicated via email with the petitioner, October 16, with a copy to the city clerk to have my name removed by the petitioner. And 5, not receiving a response from the petitioner within 3 days, I sent a follow-up email, October 19, to the petitioner with a copy to the city clerk asking for confirmation that my name had been removed. And 6, I never received a response from the petitioner. And 7, the petitioner still submitted the petition with my name included despite my multiple attempts to have my name removed by the petitioner because I was given misleading information. Therefore, I am sending this objection to the petition for the above referenced referendum. Further, the unethical behavior of the petitioner should be noted by the Board of Registrars. Kathleen Clancy.
Motion dismiss.
Second,
Been moved by Mark and seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye, I'm sorry.
The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Yeah, we do Carol, Shula.
Yes.
Cheryl Cross, good morning. So sorry I didn't initially provide my last name. I would like to remove my signature from the anti-3A petition. I signed it under false pretenses. Thanks.
Motion to dismiss.
Second,
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Laurent Cross. I would like my name to be removed from the 3A petition. It was mischaracterized by the person who explained it to me. Thank you.
Move dismiss.
Second,
Motion to dismiss made by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Betty Davis. I request the city clerk to advise the Board of Registrars that I want my name removed from the signed petition regarding the 3A zoning multiple family overlay district. I emailed the city clerk about a week ago to remove my name from the petition and ask again that my name be eliminated from the listing currently posted on the city website. Thank you.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Georgia Dominic, I would like my name removed from O'Neill's petition, please. Thank you in advance.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Elizabeth Emery, to whom it may concern, I was quote unquote misinformed by well-meaning folks outside of Market Basket regarding signing this petition. When I got the facts through folks in our church involved with ECCO, I was sorry I had signed the petition. It would be a disaster for a city like ours to not receive state funding for needed projects. It is sad when people are misinformed and become fearful. I call it the quote unquote, not in my backyard mentality. Gloucester needs to do whatever it can to make living in this amazing city available to those who are unable to find affordable housing. I hope the truth comes to light. I think people should have a say in this, but not when they are being misinformed.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry to dismiss. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Laurie Fenton, I would like to take my name off the petition to require a vote for the state mandated zoning. It would be much easier to contact you if you had a list of employee emails on the city website.
Move to dismiss. I probably don't have a list.
All right, so it was moved by Mark,
Second by Doug.
by Barry.
By Barry.
Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. From Deborah Frontiero to the board. I, Deborah Frontiero, a resident of Gloucester, Massachusetts, hereby object to the certification of the referendum petition described above on the grounds I was informed and therefore believe that several people who signed the petition have reported to me that they were materially misled about what it was they were signing, and that had they known the true nature of what they were signing, would not have signed. I was also informed and therefore believe that certain people who were misled into signing the petition and subsequently realized what they had signed, contacted the petition proponent to have their names removed from the petition, but the proponent refused to do so. I ask the board investigate the extent of misrepresentation involved in the gathering of signatures for the petition and find that the signature gathering process was tainted by misrepresentation by the petition proponents, that the signatures on the petition cannot be certified. Deborah Frontiero gives her address as 216 Washington Street. The Deborah Frontiero who signed the petition lived, at the time anyway, at 58 Grapevine Road.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there a motion? Is there a discussion on the motion?
Just the two addresses, is that a relevant thing? Was that just?
I just wanted to point it out. I don't know if this Deborah Frontiero saw the name Deborah Frontiero and thought that it was her signature,
Okay.
when it might have been a different Deborah Frontiero that actually signed. I don't know. I just know that on the petition, Deborah Frontiero at 58 Grapevine Road, that name and address was certified as a signatory.
And the person that sent this in was at a different address.
A different address. So all in favor on the motion to
Aye.
dismiss?
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed. This comes from Joe and Joanna Grella. To the Board of Registrars, please remove our names from the petition protesting the multifamily overlay district. We spend most of our time in South Carolina, and we were not aware of the negative consequences this action could have on the city.
My turn to move? Move to dismiss.
What? I want to give you guys part of the fame. Second.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is a communication from Joan Hayes. I would like my name removed from the 3A petition. Thank you.
Move to dismiss.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Jill Hine, attention Board of Registrars. I would like to withdraw my signature on the above-mentioned petition. I was not well enough informed about the 3A zoning proposal at the time I signed, and I now support the proposal. Please remove my name and signature from the petition.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
It's been moved by Doug, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Chad Conackey. Please pass along my objection to my inclusion as a signatory to the referendum petition regarding 3A. I respectfully request my name not be included as I have withdrawn my support within the appointed timeframe.
Dismiss.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion?
What time frame is she talking about?
They needed to file objections to the petition by Tuesday, it was October 29th at 4 o'clock. All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed to dismiss. Next is a communication from Stephen Ludwig. Please remove my name and signature from the petition. I signed it because I was misinformed by the representatives taking signatures. Please remove my name and signature from the petition. I signed it because I was misinformed by the representatives taking signatures, misinformed me of the purpose. I'm sorry.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry to dismiss. Is
No,
there,
second by Doug.
I'm sorry, seconded by Doug. Thank you. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Louise Marsh. The purpose of this email is to request that my name be removed immediately from the referendum petition opposing Gloucester's approved multifamily overlay district plan to comply with the MBTA/3A zoning law. I feel that the person who presented the petition to me misrepresented the purpose and intent of the petition to me. In addition, I have learned more very important information about this issue since I signed the petition and am in full support of Gloucester's already approved multifamily overlay district plan to comply with the MBTA/3A zoning law.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Janet,
Maybe you should nudge him every time that we go, you know?
I don't have coffee yet.
Janet Messier. I signed a petition that asked the 3A question to be put on the ballot. After reconsideration, I would like to remove my name from the petition.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Third.
Whatever.
Been moved by Doug, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Mark Messier. I request to have my signature removed from the 3A zoning petition / referendum. Thank you.
Move to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Rosalina Castro. I hereby object to the certification of the referendum petition described above on the grounds that, number one, I signed that petition, and number two, at the time I signed, I was materially misled about the nature of what I was signing by the person who solicited my signature. Had I been accurately informed as to what I was signing, I would not have signed the petition.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
So moved by Mark, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nancy O'Leary. To the Gloucester Board of Registrars, please remove my name from the petition regarding the petition addressing the city's compliance with the Transit Overlay District Plan, also known as 3A. I have changed my mind in light of new information. Thank you.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. This is from Jennifer Parker. I requested that Tracy O'Neill take my name off of the petition. She did not. I'm writing to request that my name be removed from the multifamily overlay district referendum petition.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
So moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Greg Parsons. Please remove my name, Greg Parsons, from Terry's petition. I believe the city council took the appropriate action in this situation.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug to dismiss. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes. Miriam Pett. I am objecting to the certification of the petition against 3A. I am objecting to the certification of the names on the petition against 3A.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Barry, seconded by Mark. Is there a discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. This is from Ann Rhinelander. I signed the 3A petition based on two fundamental principles. And after further consultation of overall interests of our city, I wish to withdraw objection to 3A without referendum. Thank you very much.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion to dismiss? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Adrian Ritchie Munn. Hello, I wrote to Tracy O'Neill requesting to be removed from the petition lists on the section 3A. I was misled and given misinformation before I signed. Please accept this as my formal request to be removed from the petition list as soon as possible. Thank you.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
So moved by Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion? Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote is 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Constance Rogers Brown. The purpose of this email is to request that my name be removed immediately from the referendum petition opposing Gloucester's approved multifamily overlay district plan to comply with the MBTA/3A zoning law. I feel that the person who presented the petition to me misrepresented the purpose and intent of the petition to me. In addition, I have learned more very important information about this issue since I signed the petition and am in full support of Gloucester's already approved multifamily overlay district plan to comply with the MBTA/3A zoning law.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
It's been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Robert Simpson. I recently signed a petition 3A related to rezoning. I was misled and wish to have my name removed.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Doug. Is there any discussion on the motion to dismiss? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. And the last one is from Kelly Swicker. City Clerk, please remove my name from the 3A zoning petition that I erroneously signed.
Motion to dismiss.
Second.
Barry, seconded by Doug. Is there a discussion on the motion to dismiss? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The votes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. That concludes the review of the signatures that were provided to the city clerk's office for this meeting.
I also want to make a motion to deny the motion to dismiss submitted by Attorney Michael Walsh. Clearly, this board has an authority to look at all signatures to determine whether there's any fraudulent intent or forgery. And we undertook that, and the sole reason we undertook it was for the reasons, and therefore our position was valid and the motion is.
Is there a second on?
Seconded. Second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
just want to go on record again, is that I don't want to give any impression that the registrars took any positions either way on the amendment, petition, or what's going to happen in the future. We were solely limited to what area we can deal with, which is just forgery or fraudulent. The petition is clearly entitled to follow the rules, and if it could be taken up in a referendum. Just on a side note, and I know it, and it's just me speaking, I would hope in the future that if someone wants to be removed from the petition, the petitioner would strongly consider that. I can't tell them to do it, the statute doesn't say it, but just in the spirit of equity alone, I would think of, especially in light of the fact that we're only talking about 34 out of 4,300, I would think it just in the show of fair play, you pull it back. But that's just my position, not a position as a registrar, and not clearly a position of representing this board.
I would like to again make a statement myself, very clear as a member of the Board of Registrars, that we had a very specific task here today. And that was just to look at requests to remove names based on the law, which says under fraud or forgery. And that's what we did here today. And then on the personal side, again, nothing that was done here today by myself, at least, has anything to do with, say, my own position on this matter. And I do thank first the citizens that have presented a petition for, engaging in the city. And I thank people for trying to either remove their name or whatever. And I hope that this matter, even though it will take some time, et cetera, I hope the city does not end up at the end of the day financially impacted negatively by this. But I hope that it'll encourage people to participate in the process more than they may have by, again, if they have objections to this, they can go to the city council, they can go to the administration. But again, the petitioners had their right to make a petition. And we took our votes today just based on how we were required to apply the law to those requests to remove.
I concur with my fellow registrars. That's called a brief. You lawyers talk about that. That was an example.
Ouch.
Make a motion to adjourn. Wait a
I
minute.
have a point of order. Are you the chair?
For today.
This meeting on the agenda sheet was advertised as a hearing. And a hearing has different rules than a meeting. One of the rules of a hearing is that anybody's entitled to speak. Is that correct?
Yes, and.
Whether or not you're a resident of Gloucester or not, you're entitled to speak at a hearing.
I will let, our city solicitor, can you repeat your question? To that, although I will say that the hearing was opened and people who asked to speak were given an opportunity to speak until all the hands were lowered, and then we moved on with the taking.
Well, I had my hand up, but I wasn't recognized.
Okay, I did not see that.
Yeah, I think it's an oversight.
I apologize, we missed it. We would let you speak.
All right, may I say something? I just want to make this clear.
Can you identify yourself first, your name and address?
Yeah, Z Sepula, 92 Granite Street, Rockport. I just want to say one thing. This is advertised as a hearing, so that people have a freedom to speak. At your city council meetings, those are meetings. You don't necessarily get a chance to speak. So in reference to what you said early on, with people's other concerns about this, they may not get a chance to speak again.
That is why they have oral communications at the start of a city council meeting. The people are allowed to speak on something that is not on the agenda of the city council meeting.
Is that I've tried to speak at city council meetings and been ruled that I cannot speak.
Right, because you're not a resident.
So there's a difference. And that's all I want to make clear, is that I think you did a great job. You applied the law and you did it fairly and impartially. Couldn't complain about this process. Just want to make clear that a hearing is different. Thank you.
Can I say one thing? Simply said,
Name and
Thank you.
address for the record, please.
John Kolakowski, 5 Phillips Avenue, Blackport. I was impressed by the people here. They stayed on point and they followed it very carefully, and quite frankly, they did a much better job than I could ever do doing it, and I appreciate it and then thank them. That's what I want to say.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's where you get paid the big bucks.
You got double pay, well, but only for the time that Susan was out of the office.
Okay.
We are all volunteers.
Make a motion to adjourn? Oh, sorry.
It's all right, it's not to, part of this meeting. I just was wondering if you have a website in which is listed any petitions that were submitted to the registrar's office and where we could locate that.
Let's move on with closing out this meeting and
that's
then I
fine.
can have a conversation.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Been moved by Mark, seconded by Barry to adjourn the meeting at 10:55. There discussion on the motion?
It's a non-debatable motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.